Hello and welcome to today's videos. We're going to cover the Swiss Stage All-Pros from Worlds 2024. There are a couple names on here that are going to upset some people. This is 100% based off of statistics. If you don't like stats and you like, narratives determining who's good and who's not, if you like biases determining who's good or who's not, then this is not going to be for you. You're probably going to disagree because you're going to include things like clutch factor and things like that, and I don't value that in terms of determining all pros and things of that nature. So, got first team, second team, third team, and a few key statistics to discuss. So, first team in top lane, we have Zika. He led in KDA. He led in kill participation. So, not dying, but yet the most involved, which is definitely something to note, right? If a guy is the most involved on his out of his role, but yet still doesn't die, that's something significant. Third in return on investment, so that's damage divided by gold, doing very well in that stat and doing very well in vision efficiency, so he's also not wasting wards. So that's good. Zeus, led in gold difference. That's nice, right? Leading in gold difference is a big deal. That's a Zeus trademark, dominating lane in the laning phase. Second in KDA and KP, so similar deal here. Not dying as much and very involved, and also second in solo kills per game, so finding opportunities to outplay his opponent. Also something to note that this does not value facilitator or tanky stats as much because it's harder to track those things. Breathe of Weibo, third. So, Breathe, despite playing until yesterday, which is going to make people say, yeah, well, he's not on Gen G, he's not on Top Esports, BLG, where's Ben? That's always a good question. Where's Ben? Well, statistically, Ben wasn't as crazy good. Very low CS, I believe. Which kind of killed it for him. CS per minute, though, Breathe, second. So, a lot of farm. That's nice. The farm numbers weren't very high, though, at this event. I think 8.4 is the highest, and a lot of 8.2s and things, which is what we've seen over the years with the CS in top lane prior to this year with the metas going all over the place. Kill participation third, so very involved. And gold difference, he's finding opportunities to get ahead. Like I said, Bin wasn't up here because Bin, I think, tanked CS per minute quite a lot. Maybe even last, or Mirwin was last and Bin was down there. Bin was towards the bottom in one stat, and that kind of killed it. Something to note about Bin, though, it's clear that in those team fights, he played excellent League of Legends. On his Jax in particular, people are going to notice, mention that as a reason why he should be in top 3, and I could see that argument. But, like I said, this is 100% based off of stats, and I'm not going to try and put a value on that. It's just not my job to put a value on what that brings. I'm not quite in the business of doing that. Owner, best jungler so far. First in KDA, CS per minute, and gold difference. So getting ahead for T1 against his opponents. Doing well in the farm department as a result. That makes sense. And also very good in KDA. And then third in vision efficiency. So he's not wasting wards. Tien of Top Esports, led in kill participation. I think 87% KP. So very involved in his team's success. Gold difference, second place. So he's getting ahead. And third in KDA. So not dying. Now this is a matchup, right? Owner and Tien. Something's going to have to give in quarterfinals in this gold difference department. Somebody's going to be ahead and somebody's going to be behind. Both of them have had pretty easy matchups so far in terms of getting ahead of their opponents. Also something to think of with Zika and Breathe. We've got a matchup here where both are very involved in their team's kills. So are LNG and Weibo going to focus the top side, or are the top laners going to come to fights and 5v5, etc.? That's something that we might want to look into going into Thursday. And then we have Razork, which is going to upset a lot of people, and I don't, that is what it is. His stats were very good. Razork tends to just have really good stats. And now I understand, watching him play, he does in his face-off at times, but the fact of the matter is the stats are good. He's second in CS per minute and kill participation, so he's getting farm more than your average jungler. So, high resource. But he's very involved, more than your average jungler. Second in kill participation, so when Fnatic fought, Razork was there. And then he's also dealing a lot of damage, second in the ROI department. Third in vision efficiency. Didn't waste wards. That's some pretty good stats right there, right? He's doing his job. Humanoid playing Swain doesn't help things. It is what it is. Mid lane, Chovy. No shock here. First in KDA, kill participation and solo kills per game. So finding opportunity to outplay his opponents. And also very involved in his team's success. KDA, not dying despite being involved in his team's success. CS per minute, that's a Chovy special. We can take that for what it is. And vision efficiency, not wasting wards. Scout, first in KDA and vision efficiency. So for LNG, he's not dying. He's doing his job, staying alive, and very effective with his vision. And then the other stats, he's not tanking. So that's why he's second. And then Knight, third in vision efficiency. Second in vision efficiency, third in damage divided by gold. So Knight finding value in these efficiency stats that I have, but maybe tanking a stat that dropped him below Scout. Bot lane, Viper, first in CS per minute and second in gold difference. So HLE ahead, not a big shock. In part, maybe I should have combined the bot lane duos once more with the gold difference being a factor, because maybe Delight's negative 300 or something because he's given Viper all his gold, and that's how that duo operates, and we can take that for what it is and consider it when we're looking at this. But also, CS per minute represents, hey, he's getting all the farm. It's not a big shock. Viper also on paper, I mean, he's the best AD carry in the world, so it is what it is. And where's Elk? In my opinion, Bin did more of that carrying than Elk did. So, I mean, when it's BLG, I think people are kind of warped right now because BLG changed junglers and they kind of stunk. And it's like, but this team is still really, really fucking good. So to like try and, I don't know, say one player did that much more than another, I think is kind of weird, except on kind of into this face-off. Noah is second, but he was only third in solo kills per game, which you could say that's not a stat that's very valuable. And I could say, you know what? There's something to be said for that. But half of the 80 carries, or maybe even 2/3, had a solo kill at this event in Swiss stage. So it was kind of if you did or if you did. If you were one of the few that didn't, yeah, well, you didn't have an opportunity to outplay your opponent and get a solo. Noah didn't int any stats. He was like top 4 to 6 in pretty much everything. And out of 16 players, I mean, that is what it is. Barely ahead of Pays and aiming when we look at the aggregate and the total from all the stats and their values, but it is what it is. Pays ended up beating out aiming for third due to tiebreaker because he was first in kill participation and aiming wasn't first in anything. So Pays, very involved in Gen G's success. KDA, he was second, which is simply Pays. Pays is very, very good at staying alive. And solo kills per game, he was also second. Support, Mako, first in KP. So very involved. That's something to note for our support. We like to think about supports and being very involved in their team's success. Initiating, making things happen, roaming, etc. Second in gold difference, Jackie Love maybe was behind. Maybe Mako's eating some of that gold. I don't believe there were any Senna games to include in there. So just like I said, how the bot laners may interact. And it's not a big shock to see Mako in this conversation for best support. Vision efficiency. I mean, this is Jackie Love and Mako going into this event, I think, were the most efficient in vision. So it's no shock to me to see him second in that category at this event. Like Mako, with his experience and, maybe scouting and things like that, really knows how to properly ward against his opponents. Hung. Now, Hung is definitely going to be a puzzling one, but he did well in the KDA department and vision efficiency. We may think Hung ints his face off, but he doesn't really die all that much. So, at least at Swiss stage, he found a way to do his job, and then he was also third in vision efficiency, so putting down good wards. And that's valuable, especially from a support. You want a support that's not wasting the very limited resources they have on bad warding. Core JJ, first in vision efficiency. So it's nice that actually the 3 supports up here were top 3 in vision efficiency, because that is like the support stat. Right, so that is what it is. So Core, very efficient as well. And then also very high in gold difference. Maybe Yeon eating some of that and letting Core get some gold. And I think he broke a tiebreaker with Lahens because he was first in vision efficiency, where Lahens wasn't first in any category. love fest for the good teams versus saying, oh no, there's a few Western teams on here, God forbid, right? I mean, stats are what they are, right? They don't know region. And at this event, actually, I mean, hell, everyone had the same chance to play crappy teams or good teams based on draw. If you win, you play against tougher teams. If you lose, I mean, theoretically, you're a bad team and playing bad teams, so you're still playing an even level of opponent, unless you're in that middle inconsistent group where we just saw Sunday. Those were those teams. G2 is consistently inconsistent. Weibo and D plus as well, and then Team Liquid FlyQuest. That's North America for you. So, yeah, I know. I expect some comments and disagreements, but like I said, I'm not factoring in those things you can't put a number on necessarily for consideration. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.